Hi everyone! I thought today we would do a little something different. Haven't had a garden video in quite some time, and that's because we haven't had a garden for at least 3 years. We've been enjoying the produce that we get from our local farmers in our area, and honestly, I was just burnt out on gardening, I'm not gonna lie. But this year, with everything that has taken place, I thought that it was a really good idea to kind of get back into things. But I did not want to do full-fledged tilling up the ground, making new boxes, because our garden is in a bit of a disarray. In fact, our entire backyard is getting ready to be redone, and it wasn't the time to be planting in the ground. So we did something a little bit different, and Molly was really encouraged to want to start gardening. She wanted to start learning how to grow her own vegetables, and I thought this was a great time to do it. So we have a little bit of a deck garden, as you can see behind me, and we have 10 different varieties of tomatoes, 10 different varieties of peppers, because hello, the pepper queen. I never met a plant I didn't fall in love with, and that is part of the problem. So we have a very large variety of different things here, and a smattering of squash, cucumbers, and some herbs. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you what we've done. We have a very large deck in our backyard, and this has worked out so well. On Mother's Day, we planted all of these things, and I thought, let's just bring you along, show you what we've done, and then I'll show you the products that we used to make all this happen. Because if you don't have pots and you don't want to make the expense of buying a lot of pots, we've used grow bags where we could, and then we went to the home improvement center and we bought some planter boxes for our herbs. So I'm gonna have Rick come over here, and I'm gonna put one by one, we'll go through everything that we've gotten. Now, these are grow bags, and you can see these are 3-gallon grow bags here, and this is what they look like. I bought these on Amazon, and they're just made out of a very heavy-duty kind of landscape cloth. It's kind of like almost like felt. A woven. It does feel a lot like felt, but it's not. It's acrylic. But you just fill this up with your soil, and then you plant away, and that's how we did it. I have 2 different sizes. I have these large ones, and you can get these grow bags all the way up to like 10 or 20 gallons. I mean, if you want a giant one. These are the little 1-gallon pots. Grow bags. These have worked out so well, and the other thing that I love about them is that they hold the moisture. So, you know, when you water, it's retaining that moisture. But this, we're gonna start with the tomatoes. Obviously, you see that we have a rosemary plant. This is a Roma tomato, so this is a paste tomato. These are doing fabulously well out here in my deck, and they have grown. To start off with, I bought all of these from a local nursery, and I bought 4 packs. The tomatoes, I literally just put all 4 plants in these large pots. And then this one is a golden nugget. We've never had this one before. This is like a little yellow pear tomato, and I'm excited because I see little clusters starting to form on all of these. Isn't it silly? It doesn't matter how long I've been gardening. When I see the seed turn into a plant and then the plant produce fruit, I'm always still amazed at God's creation and how it knows exactly what it's supposed to do. So that's just me. This is a regular grape tomato. This is a Cherokee purple, which is taking for flippin' ever to grow into a giant plant, and has grown. Actually, it's doubled in size since we planted it, so it's just taking its time, and we're going to be patient.
Yep.
This one is a large red cherry is what they're calling it, but I think it's more like a salad tomato, so it's probably going to be about the size of a golf ball. So that's what that one is. This one is called Sunrise Sauce. Now, this one is one of those times when I went to the home improvement store and wanted to get a specific kind of plant, and we ended up leaving with about 6 different types of plants. We saw this one, and we ended up getting what we wanted, which was a couple of eggplant plants.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
And then Rick goes, oh, let's get this. And I went, oh, let's get that. So that's why we ended up with this one. This is a hybrid. There's already clusters forming, so I'm excited about that. I'll bring it down here before we get too far off. But I do have a bucket with some zucchinis and a bucket with some yellow squash. Now, yes, I know these are going to get very large, but I wanted to show, especially my kids who are adults but are interested, and encourage them that it doesn't matter what type of small space you have, you can still grow your own food. The zucchini and the yellow squash are already starting to form flower buds, and we will, even if we only get a half a dozen squash, which I don't think will be the case, I think we'll get more than that, we are going to eat squash, and that's going to encourage my kids to want to do this throughout their life. So that's where I'm at with this.
Hopefully.
It's all part of just, you know, planting that desire, you know, even if it's just a little bit, it's still a fabulous way, you know, to say, I grew the zucchini and I'm eating the zucchini and it's fantastic and I love it. We planted these are thornless blackberries. We've had these in our backyard for, oh my gosh, 6 or 7 years now. We bought these at a local plant sale at the local historical society, and there's a local like a garden club, and they work in conjunction twice a year. They have a big sale at the Tryon Palace, which is a local historical site. And this is the first year we've ever had this massive abundance of blackberries.
Because you prune them way back.
And I cut them back, and at the beginning of the spring, I came out here with my pruners and I cut them back, and I thought, oh my goodness, maybe I cut them back too much.
Good idea.
But surprise, guess what?
Gangbusters.
Pruning them back made them really erupt with berries, and I am so excited because this will be probably the first year since we've had these. We've eaten them out of hand and they're delicious, but this will be the first time that I'm ever going to be able to make jam with them. So that's an exciting prospect. So I'll probably be sharing a video of blackberry jam, and that's exciting too. Mm-hmm. So there's our blackberry bushes. And blackberries, if you know anything, are invasive. Raspberries are too. So no matter where you plant them, they will actually put runners out, and you have to be mindful and pull them up where you see them, because if you don't, you're going to have blackberry bushes where you don't want blackberry bushes. So anyway, back to our deck plants. I'll start up here in the corner. This is just a 3-gallon bucket of cucumbers. These are straight 8 market cucumbers. They're vining up beautifully. They've already set several flowers. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see in there. So I think we're going to start forming fruit very soon, and that will be exciting. I can't wait. Molly is a nanny for one of our church members, and she brings Aspen over a lot, and I just adore her. So it's like grandma practice for me and grandpa practice for Rick. She is a little tomato monster, and she will eat like a whole carton of tomatoes as a snack. And I can't wait until we have tomatoes on the vine so Aspen can come and pick them, and she can see them as they're growing. So this is a German Johnson. This is one of the tomato plants Rick chose. That's a heirloom variety. This is a chocolate cherry. Again, one that we've never had before, but here we go. It's already starting to form clusters, so that's exciting. This is a Bush Goliath, a hybrid variety bush tomato.
That's one I wanted to try.
That's another one that Rick chose. So again, I keep saying it's exciting, but it is exciting because when you get to see your food growing, I think that there's something special about that. This is, well, I have one other tomato plant over here, but we'll get to it a little bit later. We're going to move into peppers right now. Y'all know me. I never met a pepper plant I didn't fall in love with. This is a new one. This is called a snackable red. So this is like those little baby bell peppers you see in the grocery store. You can see this actually came from the nursery with 3 peppers on it. I pulled those off when I planted it so that it wouldn't stress out the plant, but these are already starting to grow. This one here is a purple bell, and this also came from the garden center. Look at all of the buds on this pepper plant. we're gonna have bell peppers and bell peppers and bell peppers. Don't remember. Oh yeah, here. This is a giant Marconi. Something started eating it, but we fixed that. We had slugs out here, but we put Epsom salts and we sprayed everything down with Thieves dish soap and water mixture. We
try to use natural pesticides when we can.
We do. I really try. If we're going to eat something, I don't want to put poison on it. A lot of people in the area like to use 7 powder, and I refuse because it'll not just hurt your food that you're going to eat, it will hurt your animals too. So this is sweet banana pepper. This is plain old jalapeno. This down here is what's called a jalapeno. It's evidently a jalapeno with no heat, so I don't know what that's going to be like, but
it tastes like a mild jalapeno.
We thought we'll give it a try. This here is just a Bonnie green bell pepper, and so is this one. So these two here are the same type of plant. You can see where something's been munching, and when that happens, we just kind of get rid of those leaves. It's not going to hurt the plant. We just pinch them off and move on, because that's going to encourage more growth at the top anyway. And you can see down here, because the little 1-gallon grow bags are a little too small for me to fit a tomato cage in, but they're still going to need that structure. I put a stake in to help the plant have some support, and then I turn the tomato cage upside down over the pot, and I just used a zip tie and I bound all of these things together, and this is working really well, and it's just offering us a little more support in this area. And these are going to also get them. We're going to have to spread them out a little, but it's not a problem. This is our last tomato plant, which is called a midnight snack. Again, this is starting to cluster out in several places. Let's see, I don't know. This is going to be bigger than a cherry tomato, but not as big as like a garden tomato or a slicing tomato. So we'll see what that produces.
And we love the name, so.
Right, midnight snack. And then this one is a sweet heat pepper. This actually has a pepper on it already, and it has more buds coming out. These things are growing so well. I'm super impressed. We bought organic Miracle-Gro garden soil for the majority of the pots that you see here. There are some that you see little weeds coming up in. We actually emptied several of the pots that we had in our garden from trees that we took out, that we had in pots that just weren't producing anything anymore. I will never do that again. I will just get fresh soil. It's not too late. Listen, it's not too late. In fact, if you live in the northern part of the country, it's probably just the right time for you to start planting. I highly recommend you get starts instead of planting from seed, because it will be so much more satisfying for you, and it will be so encouraging to see your plants growing. Let the local nursery do the seed starting for you. If you've never had a garden before, but you want to try growing a tomato plant and a pepper plant or whatever, those are the two things I highly recommend you start with, because they'll be super satisfying to watch, and it will happen so quickly. Here's what I was telling you. These are some of the, see these weeds down here? These are not weeds, these are devil spawn. This is morning glory. Never plant that, I swear. It's the worst thing on the planet.
Kill it with fire.
You must burn it with fire. It's so bad. Coming up here, because this is the soil that I took out of my garden. Bad idea. Don't do it. Just buy fresh soil. You'll be happier in the end. And you won't have a bunch of devil spawn seedlings coming up in your pots. So I have one other plant down here, which is an eggplant, and you can see something has really enjoyed munching on this. Again, when that happens, especially when it's the lower leaves, and if you have like tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, it's not going to hurt the plant to take out these leaves. You're actually helping your plant by removing these. This one I'm going to leave, but you're helping your plant, encouraging it to grow bigger and stronger. So this is eggplant, and I only have, really it looks like I have 2 plants in here, but it looks like only one is thriving. So that's okay, because I only want a handful of eggplant, only enough to make it a couple of times. I don't want to grow enough that I want to be canning all summer, because at the end of the summer, who wants to be in their kitchen canning everything in sight? It's too hot, and it's a lot of work. And I've got this ancient pot of spearmint that comes back every year. I probably planted this 10 years ago, and it just always comes back beautifully. I did plant a little Italian oregano and some regular thyme and some German thyme. And this one has green onions, because I love having a box of green onions, and some basil. So that's what I've done. I also do have a giant fig tree that I'm not going to be getting rid of, but I do have a lot of things in the yard that are going, because we want to redo our entire yard, and this little deck setup is just perfect for us for this year. Who knows what next year will bring, but for right now, I'll let Rick pan over the whole thing. This is how we've done our garden this year. And I know many years ago, I used to give you guys garden updates and show you what I was growing. So I thought it might be fun to do it again, since this is what we've done. So that's our video for today. I hope this encourages you to grab a pot and some soil, go to the garden center, grab yourself some tomatoes, some peppers, or even a cucumber. If you do the cucumbers, make sure you get a tomato cage, because it's going to help to support it, and they need something to vine up on. You can buy a bush cucumber, but honestly, I like the regular vining cucumbers better. So we'll give you updates every now and then. If you'd like to see these maybe once a week, let me know. And then we'll start using these things in recipes. I'm very looking forward to being able to eat our own produce once again, because there's something so satisfying about doing that. So yeah, get gardening, guys, because there's so much satisfaction in it, and it really does make your heart content. So I hope that this finds you well. I hope you are encouraged to start a garden, even if it's on your deck or your patio or your little balcony if you live in an apartment. It's never too late to start, and your space is never too small. So until next time, I'll see ya.